Today on the Hopefulist, your quick guide to getting your gratitude journal started. The foldable phone is here, and Ellen and Oprah and me? Oh my.
Welcome to the Hopefulist, a daily talk show hosted by veteran broadcaster Wendy McClure. Join Wendy each day as she shares her life lessons that transformed her from perpetual pessimist to the ultimate hopefulist. The perfect morning show to get you caught up on the day's top stories while sharing insights that will lead to positive transformation and bring out the hopefulist in you. For more inspiration, visit Hopefulist.com. And now, here's your host and hopefulist, Wendy McClure.
Well, thank you, Matthew. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Tuesday, September 29th. No, 24th. Excuse me, I'm rushing things. I put down the wrong date, and then I tried to just, write over it, and so it looks like a 9 when it's actually a 4. Let me start over. Good morning. It is Tuesday, September 24th, 2019, day 12 of Gotta Get on Ellen. So I forgot yesterday that Oprah was on Ellen. Luckily, I record Ellen every day, so I didn't miss it. I did remember exactly at 4 o'clock because the weather's been so warm here at the Jersey Shore. I actually went for a kayak ride yesterday, and then when I got back, I sat out on the dock and read my book for a little while, sitting out in the sun. That is one thing that is definitely changing is the sun goes behind the house in the afternoon, so I am losing my sun on the deck very quickly. Not very happy about that. So I'm literally stuck in a corner where there's just that last little bit of light. Maybe I'll have to start sitting out front. I don't know. I didn't buy a house on the water to sit out front in the driveway, but that is another story for another time. So Oprah was on Ellen, and the audience was going nuts. Do you know why? Because they didn't know that Oprah was going to be on Ellen, because Ellen even said that. She's like, yeah, they didn't know that you were going to be here. So could you imagine the excitement of going to see Ellen? And not only do you get to see Ellen, but you get to see Oprah, too. And then Oprah, of course, gives everybody an iPad and a $100 gift card to Apple Books because she's starting a new book club through Apple. So that was pretty exciting. Apparently, Oprah had a big health scare. She had pneumonia for a couple of weeks, and she said she was just cleared yesterday by the doctors, that she's well on her way back to being healthy again. So there's even more reason for her to tout her 2020 Vision Tour and to spread her message of wellness. Speaking of the 2020 Vision Tour, my printer has been out of ink for some time. So we finally went ahead and bought some ink cartridges, and I printed my Oprah tickets. We are ready to go. Only 5 more months. So pretty excited about that, as you can tell. And after I saw Oprah on Ellen, I was so excited that Tucker and me, my podcast partner, made another video for Ellen, plea to have her on, to have us on her show so I can spread my message of inspiration and positivity to the whole world. I will keep you posted. I have been uploading videos to her Ellen Tube, and I've yet to hear anything, but I will. I have faith. So some tech news this morning. Samsung's new foldable phone is here. Comes out on Friday with a price tag of, ready for it, $2,000. Now, it's pretty cool looking. It's still a pretty large phone. And then when you open it up, it's probably about the size, a little bit smaller than an iPad mini would be. So it's a big, nice, huge screen. But there's been all kinds of problems linked to this phone. I don't know if they got them all ironed out before they went ahead and put it on the market starting this Friday. You would hope so, but that's not always the case. So go in knowing that there have been many issues with this foldable phone. But yeah, that's pretty exciting. Samsung wins the race. They get there first. I'm sure that Apple's will be much better. I am an Apple fan. I know that there's people, you either love Apple or you hate Apple. I know people who just swear by their Samsung phones, and that is great. That is why there are choices. I personally prefer Apple products. And I have we just gotten new phones. So now they're coming out with the iPhone 11 with the new multi-dimensional camera. And I did see a commercial. I meant to talk to Joe about it. I'm sure it won't include us because we probably have some sort of contract since we just restarted in November of last year about how you can trade in any of your iPhones for the new iPhone for free. And that was my carrier. But a lot of times this is just for new customers, which always irks the crap out of me. I get it. You're trying to get new customers. But meanwhile, you're making all your old customers like, what the hell? Honestly, that is one of the reasons why I stopped subscribing to magazines. One, I just didn't read them anymore. Even when I buy one now from the store, it's like I just don't get around to it. But I used to subscribe to a number of magazines, one of them being O Magazine. I know, shocking, right? That I would subscribe to Oprah's magazine. In Style, another one of my favorites. But what would happen is, and I even noticed this way back in the day when I subscribed to Cosmopolitan, when I would go to the grocery store, there would be the new issue of any of the magazines there on the stand waiting to be bought. Meanwhile, I have not received mine in the mail yet. And I would see all these articles that I would want to read, and I'm not a patient person. I don't think to myself, oh, that's going to be a great article when I get my magazine. No, when I see it, I want to read it now. So I sometimes would be even tempted to buy the magazine. I'm like, no, I'm going to get it in like 2 days. Why do I have to wait 2 days? Why are you punishing the people who are loyal to you and who have already put out their money ahead of time, knowing that you will give them great content, but yet you don't serve them first? Again, from a marketing standpoint, I get it. You want the people who don't have it all the time to have first stab at it so that you can sell more magazines. But you're making your loyal customers feel a little shafted. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. So, pumpkin spice spam. We were talking about this a few weeks ago, that spam was coming out with a pumpkin spice flavor. Apparently, it went online yesterday, went on sale online, and sold out in 7 hours. Do you think everybody was from Hawaii? They love spam in Hawaii for some reason. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's good at a luau. I don't know. But yes, it sold out in 7 hours. Kind of crazy, right? I mean, everything is pumpkin spice now. Pumpkin spice Cheerios. I see pumpkin spice. Joe was mentioning last year he saw pumpkin spice Twinkies. Pumpkin spice peanut butter. I'm not making that up. I saw pumpkin spice peanut butter in years past. Disgusting? I think so. I love me some pumpkin, but not on certain things. I think the Cheerios would be okay. There are certain things that just kind of go together with pumpkin spice. I don't think that peanut butter is one of them. I think the Twinkies might have been okay. I don't know. Never had one. Not really rushing out, have this huge urgency to try. But yeah, if you were wondering how many people would be interested in the pumpkin spice spam, that is, apparently it's quite a bit. So I'm going to go right on to today's topic because I'm just moving along. I'm moving and shaking. I'm getting things done. It's a Tuesday, people, and we are happening. We are hot. We are grooving and moving. So it is officially fall. It was as of yesterday. So I wanted to know from you, what is it you're going to miss most about summer? A lot of good responses. When I had thought about this question myself, I actually was kayaking when I came up with the question, and I thought boating. Boating would probably be my number one thing. But also just sitting out hanging on my deck. Gosh, I love that. And then some other people brought up some stuff that I'm like, yeah, that too. So Barbara says, my hummingbirds most of all, but the long days. Yes, the long days. I hate these short days. I don't mind the hot weather, but I hate when it gets early, dark so early, and I miss out on about 2 hours on my swing, walking the neighborhood, and, of course, taking pictures. Christine says the beach. Dot says being with our kids and grandkids. Lori says sitting on my porch. Me too, Lori. Me too. Nancy says warm weather and late sunsets. I hate when it gets dark early. Agreed. Linda says it's still summer here, but I always miss flip-flops. Oh, man, will I miss flip-flops. I love me some flip-flops. Joe says barbecue. That's my honey. Diane says, I like long hours of light, early a.m. till 8:30 p.m. Yes, it's very nice. Kim says boating. Sandra says the long days. Michelle says, we have 2 more months of summer here in Texas. Come on down. It says, hello, fall. Offer not valid in Texas. Jane says, spending the afternoon at the community pool with my son. Kathy says, warm weather, daylight savings time. Another good one. Melissa says, everything, but mostly sitting by the pool. Wendy says, I agree, everything. Linda says, the warm weather, but we've been blessed with beautiful weather. I've been looking at the weather forecast, and for like the next week and a half, still in the 70s or 80s every day, and we're not seeing much rain. They're even starting to talk about drought, which is crazy because we've had like the wettest summers the last couple of years. And Denise says, I would say the beach, but I still go down in the fall and winter. That is why I moved here, because the beach is just as beautiful with snow covered when it's snow covered than when there's nothing on it at all. In fact, one of my most commented and loved pictures on Facebook is one of the entrance to the beach covered in fresh powder with no marks, not even from the birds. So I will put that up at some point, that picture, because it's a good one, if I don't say so myself. I remember the day that I took that picture. It was in March, I believe, and Joe and I were staying at the year-round rental that we had on the island at the time. And we woke up, and I don't think either one of us had to work. And there's not a lot of people here on the island in the winter, and especially out and about when it's snowing. So we had, I had said, let's run up to the beach real quick and grab some pictures. And he's like, what? Really? I'm like, yeah, it's going to be good. I got some of my favorite pictures that day. So I'm going to move on to my blog post today. I'm very excited today. I came up with this idea because I hear a lot that people don't know what to put in their gratitude journal. So I came up with a guided gratitude journal. Get your gratitude journal started. Now, I'm sure you are probably tired of hearing me talk about the gratitude journal. The reason I talk about it so much is because it works. It is the number one way that I started to transition from a pessimist to a hopefulist. It not only forced me to find more positive in my life to be grateful for, it literally changed my way of thinking and the way I viewed the world. I can tell you, life is so much better when you focus on the positive instead of the negative. And I've told this story, but when it had started to happen, I didn't even realize it till I sat back one day and I was like, everybody's talking about what a bad year they had at the end of the year. And I'm like, I had a pretty good year. And then I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I did have some pretty big things that had happened, some pretty big negative things. I just chose not to focus on them. Changes the way you think. Takes 21 days to form a habit. Can you do a gratitude journal for